everyone, welcome to the session Programming for Problem Solving. Myself Navya, I'm an assistant professor from the Department of CSIT in MLR Institution of Technology. In today's session, we are going to learn operators in C, part 1. Coming to the overview, we are going to see operators in C. What are the operators in C and what are the types of operators you can hold in C, and what are unary operators, what are binary operators, and what are arithmetic, relational as well as relational operators. We are seeing some part of the operators in the session. So coming to the operators. Operators are said to be the basic components of C programming. So they are nothing but the symbols that represent some kind of operations, such as mathematical, relational, bitwise or conditional operations, or some logical operations that could be associated with the values of variables. So the values and variables are used as with operators are called as operands. So when you are performing some operations on the variables, that is said to be operators. So if I want to add two values, some 2 plus 3. 2 and 3 are called as operands, whereas plus is called as operators. In this session, we are going to see what all types of operators are there in C. So, in C is built in, C is very rich in operators. So, coming to the types of operators, there are 3 types of operators. The operators were segregated into 3. The first one is unary operators, binary operators, ternary operators. So, what comes under unary operators? What comes under binary operators? What comes under ternary operators? Unary operators was divided into 2 types of operators, which is pre-increment operator and decrement operators. Next, the binary operators was divided into arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, and assignment operators. And the third operator, ternary operator, is ternary or conditional operator is also there. So these are the types of operators in C language. Coming to the unary operators. Unary operators are nothing but when there is a single operand associated with one operation. So if you are seeing x plus y, which is 2 operands are there, when only one operator and one operand is there, the operator is said to be unary operator. Okay, so if you take a single operand, when an operation is performed using a single operand as well as single operator, the operator is said to be unary operator. So here comes the unary operators. There are 2 types of unary operators. One is increment and the second one is decrement operator. Increment again divided into 2 again. One is pre-increment, post-increment. Similarly, the decrement was divided into again to pre-decrement and post-decrement. So, coming to the increment operator. Increment operator is used to increment the value by 1. If a equals to 1 is there, if I write a plus plus, so it would be incremented the value by 1. So, a equals to a plus 1. So, the value will be incremented by 1 itself. Okay. So, in this again that was splitted into 2. One is pre-increment and post-increment. Coming to the pre-increment. In this method, the name itself pre-increment, which means first the value will be incremented by 1, then it will save. Okay, in this method, the operator precedes the operand plus a. The operator will come first, then comes the operand. So plus a. Pre-increment. Pre. The first itself, the operator will come, then followed by operand. Operator first, operand next. Pre-increment. the value of the operand will be altered before it is used. This was the main point. If A equals to 1, for example, if I am declaring A equals to 1, the value of A is 1 here. B equals to plus A. So, B equals to plus A means first A value will be incremented by 1. A value 1 plus 1, which is 2, will be saved here. And A value is also 2 here. Because plus A refers to A equals to A plus 1. Which means the value will be saved, incremented by 1, and it will be saved in A also. Now the A value is also 2, B value is also 2. So this is how the pre-increment will work. Coming to the post-increment operator. The name itself, post-increment, which means first operand will come followed by operator A plus. In this method, first the value is saved, then it will get incremented by 1, and then again it will be saved. So, if I say A value A equals to 1, when I say B equals to A plus plus, first it will say B value is A plus plus means first one value will be saved. Now, C equals to A, C value is, this will be incremented by 1 later on, 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Now the A value is 2 here, C value is 2. So first it will save the value in this, then it will be incremented by 1 and it will save in the A. So this is what post increment operator. Let us see a small program here. Hash include stdio.h int main int A comma B. Okay, so similarly A equals to some 2 I am taking. B, first we will print the A value, printf A equals to percentile D, slash n is for new line character. We are printing A. Now B equals to plus A, which is pre-increment. We are using pre-increment operator. Now we are printing B value. B equals to percentile D, comma B. And you are printing A value also. I am going to print A value also. A equals to percentile D, comma A. I just want to have new line. I want to go with a new line, means it should get in a new line. So when I see here, what was the value I have got here is A equals to 2, B equals to 3. So it has incremented by 1, B A plus 1, which is 2 plus 1, which is 3, and A value is also 3. Now the same thing I will use for post increment also. When I execute here, see A equals to 2, the value was not incremented by 1 here. First it was saving the value in B, then it got incremented by 1. So A value has become 3 after incrementation. But B value is A plus plus. First it was, the A value got saved as it is in the B and then incremented by 1. So this was the difference between the pre-increment and post-increment. Similarly, the next operator is decrement operator. Decrement operator is used to decrease a value by 1. So the value of a variable will be decremented by 1. So it is said to be decrement operator. Similarly, you will have pre-decrement operator, we will call it as prefix decremented, which is same as pre-increment. First it will decrease the value by 1, then it will be saved. Okay, so if I go with a equals to 1, b equals to minus 1, I say b value will become 0. Similarly, the post-decrement, postfix decrement or post-decrement operator, this operator first it will save the value, then decremented the value by 1. So if a equals to 1, b equals to a minus c equals to a. So the b value will be 1, c value equals to 0. So let us see the example program. In this only, we will go with pre-decrement value. Okay, the same. A value is 2 here. Next, a value I am printing before decrement and after decrement also. Okay. See here, what are the values I have got? A value is 2. It was decremented by 1. So b value is equals to 1. 2 minus 1, 1. And a value also became 1. Now, in case of post decrement, if I use a minus minus here, so what happens here? In the previous step, b became 1, but here a value as it is was saved in the b. Next, after this step, it was decremented by 1. So this was the difference between the pre-increment and post-increment, pre-decrement and post-decrement. So this is all about the unary operators. Coming to the binary operators. When an operator works with 2 operands, the operator is said to be binary operators. There are n number of binary operators in C. The 5 operators, different operators are arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators and assignment operators. In this session, we are going to see these 2 operators here. One is arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are nothing but the basic operators which we are used in a mathematical and real life. So, we will use plus for addition, like 4 plus 2 6, minus for subtraction, 4 minus 2 2, star for multiplication and slash for division. Here the new operator is modulus operator. So here the modulus operator in C is used to give you the remainder value. When I divide 5 with 2, 2 2s are 4 and 1 is the remainder. So this 1 will be given using modulus. When you do the modulus operator, it will result you the remainder value. When you give slash operator, it will result you in the quotient value. This was the difference. And one more point here to note is modulus operator will only work for integer values. It won't work for float values, because float values will give you the decimal points. Integer value will give only the integer values without decimal points. So the modulus operator will work for integer values and it does not work for the float values. You have to remember for sure. Coming to the relational operations. The relational operators are used to define the relation between 2 operands, or you can call it as comparison operators, which is used to compare 2 expressions or 2 operands. So this is used to compare the 2 operands. For example, if you are checking 2 operands are equal to, when I write here, you have to note if you write a equals to b, the b value will be saved in E. Whereas if you write a double equals to b, you are comparing these 2 operators are equal or not. So some of the relational operators are less than, the relational operators are less than, greater than or equals to, greater than or equals to. Double equals to is nothing but whether both expressions are equal or not. And for the not equals to, you will write not equals to like this. So less than, 5 less than 2, false. It will give you the results in true or false, when it was changed to the integer values, you will give 1 or 0. 0 means false, 1 for true. Okay, greater than symbol, less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, double equals to, not equals to. Okay, we'll have some programs, two programs. One is arithmetic operators and one is relational operators. For example, if I'm going with arithmetic operators, first I'm going with a plus b equals to percentile d. So if I do a plus b, similarly a minus b equals to percentile d, which is a minus b. A star b. If you want the product, you have to use the if you want a slash b quotient value, you have to use a slash b, comma a slash b. It is one of the arithmetic operator. Printf a modulus b equals to percentile d, comma a modulus b. So here this was an example program for arithmetic operations. So I am taking addition, multiplication, subtraction, division and quotient value also. See, these are the outputs I have got. A value is 2, B value is 5. So when I A plus B, 2 plus 5 which is 7, 2 minus 5 which is minus 3, 2 into 5 which is 10, 2 divided by B 0. When I go with modulus operators, A modulus B, the remainder value when I divide 5 with 2, the values you will get is remainder value is 2. So this is how the arithmetic operators. So let us see here, when I use instead of integer values, if I use float. See, I got an error that invalid operands of type float and float to binary operators. So it won't take, this is not used for float operators, float data type. So if you give integer, you will get the output. If you give float, it will return you the errors. These are arithmetic program for arithmetic operators. Coming to the program for relational operators. I simply change the same thing, but instead A less than B, A greater than B, less than or equals to B, greater than or equals to B, is A equals to B, A not equals to B. So these I have used the relational operator between 2 and 5. My A value is 2, B value is phi here. So I am checking whether A less than B, 2 less than 5. True. So it will give you what answer will get. Let us see. When you see here, when I check A greater than A less than or B, 2 less than 5. True. So it has written you 1. 2 greater than 5, false. So it has written 0. 2 less than or equals to 5, true. 2 greater than or equals to 5, false. 2 equals to 5, false. 2 not equals to 5, true. So this is how the relational operators will perform. It will return you, if you write it as integer, it will for true or false it will return you. For the true it will return you 1, for the false it will return you 0. So this is how the relational operators work in C programming. Coming to the summary of this session, what we have seen, what is an operator? Coming to the session, we have seen what is an operator. Operator is used to perform some operations on operands. So how many types of operators are there? 3 types. Unary operators. Unary operators are the operator which performs operations using one operand. Next is a binary operator. Binary operators are the operators which performs operations using 2 operands. Coming to ternary operators. Ternary operator is an operator which is used to perform operations on 3 operands. So we have seen in unary operators, we have seen increment operator. Later on divided into 2, which is pre-increment and post-increment. Similarly, we have seen decrement operator here, that was divided into again pre-decrement and post-decrement. Similarly, binary operators were divided into 5. We have seen in this session these all, as well as we have seen arithmetic operators, which is plus, minus, star, slash and modulus. And next, relational operators are used to compare two operands or 2 values or 2 expressions. So the relational operators are less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, not equals to and double equals to. We have seen the difference between single equals to and double equals to also. And the next operators are logical operators, bitwise operators, as well as assignment operators. And these 3 plus the ternary operators will be seen in the next session. Coming to the pre-increment and post-increment, pre-increment operator will add 1 to the existing value. And pre-increment means first it increments the value by 1, then it will save the value. Post-increment means first it will save the value, then incremented by 1. Similarly, decrement operator, minus, minus. It will decrease the value by 1. In the pre-decrement, first it will decrease the value, then saves it. In the post-decrement, first it will save the value, then decrement the value by 1. So we have seen the differences through programs. We have seen the programs for arithmetic operations and relational operations also. So this was a session of operators part 1. So the remaining operators we will see in the next part. Thank you.